you've rode for some big teams, big programs. I wanted to ask you about, but some very different programs as well. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
you went so from that Cannondale team. Where did you move to from that one?
Well, after that, I was due to stay with Cannondale, but it was 2008, so the credit crunch
Yeah.
recession and all that happened. So um, there wasn't any Cannondale factory racing. So I was privateer. Um, yeah, in '09.
Yeah.
And then 2010, still a privateer, but I was riding. Was it the Mondraker? I think it was.
Hmm.
Mondraker had just come out with that Summon,
Yeah.
um, which was a great bike. Still, probably is. Like the current Mondraker doesn't look much different to it. So, um, yeah, that was 2010.
Hmm.
11 then rode for Sunn Montgenevre
Yeah.
with Camellini.
Yeah. I was.
Yeah,
Tell me a bit about that because I couldn't. Obviously, I've had quite a few different characters on the team, but I had
yeah.
Camille, I had Julian on the team with Kavarik, and you couldn't get any. Like, obviously, I learned loads of stuff about running a team from the
Yeah,
mistakes and stuff, and they were both super fast dudes, but um, so different. Like you couldn't
yeah.
get more
It
different.
couldn't be more different.
No, no. Like Chris, I remember Chris just looking at me because we were at Mont St Anne and Julian woke up in the morning like he was upstairs, I was downstairs. You know, in them big brown buildings that they had near the track.
Yeah, yeah.
I was downstairs with Dave Garland and I don't know who else was mechanicking, and the riders were. I know Julian was upstairs. I got up to go and make a coffee in the morning, and I heard Julian shout, "Nigel, Nigel!" I was like, "Fuck, what's up, mate?" Like, I thought he
What's happened? Yeah.
broke his leg or something, fell out of bed. I need an haircut, he said. Haircut. This was the like 2 days before the race, and I'm like, "What do you mean you need an haircut?" "Yeah, I need a haircut," and I was like, "Fucking hell!" Right, but right. We'll have a team family trip to Quebec. Have a walk around town and stuff, and Julian can get his hair cut, whatever. Keep him happy. Anyway, he comes out of the hairdressers, literally look like someone had brushed his hair. They look the same.
Took
I
two
put
mil off it.
2 centimeters. He told me I have had 2 centimeters cut off, and he was dead happy about that. And then
Awesome.
me and Chris were walking down the main street. Julian come out, went off into a shop, came out of this shop, and remember Chris? He literally didn't wear anything that wasn't black. Remember his
Yeah, yeah.
shorts and his hoodies and that. Julian come out in some white jeans, and, and Chris, honestly, he, d- I, d- I've never seen anyone as confused in my life. He was just looking at me and looking at Kathleen, and he's just like couldn't understand
Thought he was going for a day on the paintbrushes.
him. But what? So what? Sorry, I went on a bit there. But what?
That's
What
a good one.
like you? What was it like being on a team with Julian? Because you're quite different to him, I think.
Yeah, it was awesome to be fair.
Yeah.
Like he took me under his wing because he's so professional, and I
Mm.
was still pretty young, and yeah, I wanted to do well, but didn't really know how to at the time.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, he just knew. Yeah, he's a racer,
Yeah.
a proper racer, and he.
I met
Um,
lovely lad, like
oh yeah,
and proper talent.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and he showed that he was like having a big brother. Like Duncan Riffle too. He looked after me a lot when I was a junior.
Okay.
Um, and then him and Camellini, I guess, closer to each other than Camellini and Kavarik.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
pretty clean.
Yeah.
look after themselves, very particular in what they do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like riding with Julian was awesome. He's so fast.
So fast, isn't he?
Yeah, incredibly fast. And he'd be like, we'd do track walk, and he's like, this corner, no brakes.
Right.
So in practice, I'm like, right, I'm not braking. And every lap, I'd just touch the brakes. So I go back, I'm like, are you no braking that corner? He's like, no brakes. And he wouldn't brake.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
was like, I remember the track was, it was like a little bit of goat trail. It was skinny,
Yeah.
kind of blind, like cut into the hill. So if you went off,
Yeah.
you're down in the
Big,
jungle.
big un.
And he'd just, yeah, pin it. And I
Yeah.
think he might have finished. I'm pretty sure he's on the podium,
Mm-hmm.
second or third. He might have won qualifying or something, you know.
Yeah. 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 Oh, he's
And
so.
like, yeah, and he'd make this special. I don't know if he did it when he was with you, but race day cake.
Yeah.
It's like sports chocolate cake,
Yeah. A
and he
big
just
thing.
yeah, and that'd be his lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thought about
race day cake, bro, and
that.
it
Yeah.
works. You know, he let me have some sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, have a bit of this, mate.
Only after you told him you were breaking.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you need the cake.
Forgot
No,
about
but
the cake. Yeah.
he's into his moto,
Yeah.
not Moto GP, but
Yeah.
fast motorcycle racing now, and
Yeah.
I
He's
can see him being really good at that, just because he's like precision is there, you know.
yeah. 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 He was super professional and trained hard, and like you say, everything was prepared. I remember another time we got there, and but so different to UK dudes. You know what I mean? Like we we um we were in an airport one time where we kind of met half. Sort of we all flew to one airport and then all met up in
Yeah, yeah.
else. And we were walking around the airport looking for him. The next minute, I'm like, "Oh, he's over there," and he was literally just sat in the airport with his pants round his ankles in his skin tight white undies, with all them electrode things on his legs, and his legs were just flashing. But didn't care because it was gonna
Yeah,
be faster. Whereas
yeah, it was.
most UK dudes, you just wouldn't do that, would you? Because you'd feel stupid. Do you know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
yeah, he
That
didn't.
reminds me actually. I think he might have qualified first that race in Africa.
Yeah,
And like, yeah, something might have happened in the race run, which he wasn't happy about. So on the flight home, he bought one of them big bags of Milky Way little
oh,
mini
yeah,
chocolate bars, and
yeah.
he ate them all.
Oh,
He was like, I've put all this effort in.
so
I've had a bit of shit luck, so I'm gonna eat all these Milky Ways.
yeah,
And that was his like way of signing it off,
yeah,
finish with it, right on to the next one.
yeah. And then he would have been back to his strict routine.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, pants down,
yeah,
electrodes on,
yeah,
no brakes.
yeah. Brilliant, brilliant. Uh,
Yeah, he'd be good to get on here
yeah, definitely got to get him on.
because
Yeah,
he's recently a father, isn't he?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It'd be
Doing
great.
motorbike racing, a lot of road racing, road bike riding. I see.
He always did loads of that on the team. Like he'd always talk to me about what just got some new wheels for his road bike that were about 4 grand or something. And uh,
Yeah,
yeah, I didn't. I've never even have a road bike. I didn't know what he was talking about, but
yeah,
he's dead into it. Like, um,
yeah, yeah.
but so after that program, what was where did you move on to after that one?
Oh yeah, so 2011, son, halfway through the well, not even halfway through the year. Um, just after the first round, Sun announced that they were bankrupt.
Hmm.
Um,
That would have been the second time, wouldn't it?
yeah, yeah. Um, but the way it worked in France was the banks would give them like bail them out and give them like 2 years to try and get this shit in a pile
Right.
to see what happens. So they could still fund a lot of the expenses getting us to races.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we could still race a season, but because the company had been in a bit of a pickle, there was no one making frames. So we had like the last 6 downhill frames, and they were all a bit broken, let's say.
Yeah.
So we ended up buying. We had a choice. We were like, oh, should we buy like a team decision? We could buy a Santa Cruz. We could get anything we wanted, but we
Right.
ended up buying transitions.
Oh yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah, so we ended up racing them for the rest of that 2011 season,
Yeah.
and then the team closed for 2012. But we